In this video, we will walk through how to enable mass update in generic inquiry. So there are two ways to add a generic inquiry. The first is search in the universal search bar here and search for generic inquiries. And then once the edit generic inquiry screen pull up here, you'll be able to search for the generic inquiry that you want to be editing in this field here. The second way is to just search for the generic inquiry itself directly in the universal search bar. So in this example, we will be editing the bills and adjustments screen. So I am going to search and pull up that screen here. So if you notice in Acumatica, if a screen usually is a generic inquiry, you'll be able to click on customization and hit edit generic inquiry. That will also take you back to this generic inquiry screen here. But if you don't see the customization, it almost is due to the access right issue. So you can always go with the first way that we talked about, where you search for the inquiry screen and then find the inquiry by searching in the inquiry title. So once you have the generic inquiry edit screen open here, we will navigate to the entry point tab. In the operations with records sections, you'll notice that there's a list of actions for you to select. It is important to know that these options will not be editable if the generic inquiry does not have the entry screen setting configured. The entry screen field is where you can match the inquiry to a data entry form. Then you can replace the entry form with the inquiry. So when you click on the name of the entry form, say bills and adjustment, the system will direct you to this generic inquiry first. And then when you select each individual record, the inquiry will take you to that specific record entry form. All right, since my inquiry here does have the entry screen setting configured, there is a list of mass actions available for me to choose from. The goal of this video and the more common action used is the enable mass record update. And another common one that is usually enabled is enable new record creation. What this does is it adds the plus button on the inquiry, where if you click on the plus button, it will take you to an empty entry form where you can enter information. So what we're going to do now is to click on enable mass record update. The next thing is you'll notice that there will be a mass record update tab show up in the generic inquiry. Depending on the size of your monitor, if you don't see it, you might need to click on this more button to bring this out. So the mass update fields tab is what shows whenever you enable mass update, whenever you enable the mass record update option on the entry point. So in the mass update fields here, we're going to select the field that we want to be updating. So you click on the plus button, and in the drop down here, you'll see a list of fields. Only fields shown in this list can be used in mass updates. If they're not here, then this function does not work on those fields. So in this example, I'm going to be updating, let's say, the due date. So I'm going to select that, and then we're going to save our change. Then we'll click on View Inquiry to bring the inquiry screen up. From here, you may notice that there is a 3 action dots that's added to the toolbar, where the options available is to either update or update all. So update all just means that it's going to take in all of the records in this generic inquiry and update the due date field. But the update button here it will only update the selected records. So how do we select records? You'll notice that in the selected column here, you can select one or multiple records at a time, or if you select the checkbox in the header, then it selects all of the records that's on this page only. So let's say I don't want to select everything, I just want to select a few. And just to know, same rules apply here. Then whenever you're editing directly in each record, that you'll only be able to update fields whenever the document is not closed. All right, so let's say I want to update these 6 records here, and I'm looking at the due date column. So all of these are different dates so far. I'm going to click on the action dots and hit update. I want to select due date. This is the only options we have right now, but suppose that you have other fields available in here for the user to update, then you'll select the checkbox for the field that you want to be updating. So I'm going to be updating the due date field, and let's say I want all of the due date to be in January 15. And then you hit finish and let the system run. Once completed, you'll notice that there are green checkbox here, and you can see the due date for the documents selected are now all January 15th. You can refresh the browser, and it'll take you back to the main screen, and you'll notice that the records that we selected are changed to January 15th. Now, if you do not see the select column here, you might need to go into the column configuration. That column is called selected. So if you do not see on the screen already, you might need to bring it over into the selected columns. All right, that is everything I wanted to show regarding how to perform mass update in generic inquiry. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much.